पद पल पल पद पद पल पल पद पद जीवन पथ पर पल पल पद पद जीवन पथ पर गुरु साथ मेरे रक्षक बनकर पल पल पद पद जीवन पथ पर गुरु साथ मेरे रक्षक बनकर बिसरू ना कभी यह प्रेममयी आनंदमयी भवदीय कृपा बिसरू ना कभी बिसरू ना कभी बिसरू ना कभी यह प्रेममयी आनंदमयी भवदीय कृपा गुरुदेव 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 गुरुदेव
ओम हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरि ओम सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ओम शांति शांति शांति।
हरि ओम pranam Swamini ji, and a very warm welcome on behalf of Chinmay Mission Nagpur to the second day of our program titled Guru and God, the 2G Connection. Yesterday, we had a brilliant opening day where Swamini ji so deftly introduced us to the concept of the Guru and the relevance of the Guru in our lives. Today, we are eagerly waiting for more nuggets from Swamini ji. So before I hand over the floor to Swamini ji, I would once again want to remind all of you that please post your questions, any doubts, any questions you may have, you may post them on the chat box. The chat box will be enabled 20 minutes before the end of the program. So without further delay, I invite Swamini Vimlananda ji to address us. Pranam Swamini ji.
वक्रतुंड महाकाय सूर्यकोटि समप्रभा निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। ओम श्री महागणपतये नमः। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। ओम श्री महासरस्वत्यै नमः। समस्त जन कल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram Om Shri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha. Jya Sthali Manasaya Mase Yatya Sthali Nijarupa Tuze Meethe Vito Mastakasya Thikani Tete Sthali Sadgurupaya Doni Tete Sthali Sadgurupaya Doni. Hari Om and Namaskar to everyone. We are on the second day of this great yajna on Guru and God, the 2G connection. Remember, as in the outer world, you have after 2G, 3G, 4G, 5G, and I'm sure in the future there will be many more Gs added. Our Guru and God doesn't remain just 2G connection. Wait for more connections to happen. There will be more. There will be a 3G also, 4G also, a 5G also coming. We have understood that we all need teachers in our life. And the teacher can be of any race, gender, age, religion. We know in our life also, we learn from so many people, younger and older to us. In fact, I think most grandparents learn about technology and about their mobile phone from their grandchildren. Is it a fact or not? I don't think they learn it from some going to classes or something like that. Most of them learn everything about their mobiles from their grandchildren. So as far as the mobile is concerned, the grandchildren are their teachers, their gurus. We need a teacher for everything in life. Anything and everything. We can learn, there are self-learn, this also, but someone else has made those self-learn tools, self-making tools, whatever is that you have to. And it becomes so much easy. Even when Bhagwan himself took an avatar, he had gurus. They went to a guru. Interestingly, Bhagwan is the Adi Guru, the first guru, and yet when he takes an avatar, he goes to a guru. Bhagwan Krishna went to Sandipani Rishi. Bhagwan Rama went to Vashishta Rishi. His guru was Vashishta Rishi. Vashishta Mahaya Rishi. So each of the avatars also went to a guru to get knowledge. Guru bina jnana, jnana bina chela, nisadina firata udasi, पानी में मीन पियासी मुझे सुना सुना आवता आसी. That is what he said. That without a guru, it is like a fish swimming in water and thirsty. It is looking for what? It is in water, surrounded by water, and yet it is looking for water. It is thirsty. Similarly, we keep looking for God and happiness and truth and sakshatkar or moksha, whatever you want to call it, which is what? Right here. Who is the one who points that? The Guru. Guru Bina. Without Guru, Nisadina Firata Udasi. Person goes around here, there, wondering how, what, where, why, troubled by samsara, by so many things. So a Guru is needed in life. All of us need gurus. We have talked about it, and there was a question also. We said there are different types of gurus, remember? We need different types of gurus also in our life. And I said we need to have one guru. So someone was little this. They asked, why one guru? Why you have to be loyal to one guru? Does the guru want your loyalty? No. The word loyal doesn't fit. No guru wants your loyalty, okay? Many times it happens that each guru will explain something in a different way, or even sometimes give different sadhana margas. Means someone may say, someone who is a very nishtha, who has realized the truth or antakarana shuddhi by doing japa, he will say japa is the best sadhana. Why? Because he has proved it in his own life. But you go to another guru, he will say meditation is the way. Please do meditation. Now, if you do not have one Sadguru, what is going to happen to you? For a little time, you'll do what? Japa. Then you'll say, ye guru theek nahi, ye Sadguru theek nahi hai. You understand? And then you go to. And many times, see, we in our own, we say, oh, such and such is a realized soul. For our way of measuring who is a realized soul or who is a, as they say in North India, pahucha hua guru. Pahucha hua. Who's a great master, a realized. How do we know? Many times we go by our own small little understanding of what is realized master. And most of it is always, he speaks well. He talks very well. That has nothing to do with who a guru is. So therefore, we should not easily jump to the conclusion that everyone who has either these clothes or gives spiritual lectures or has a spiritual box on the spiritual path is a realized master. That is why it was said, Swayam Pariksha. Remember? Yesterday we talked about that also. Because our understanding, everyone who walks, it happens like that 2.5 years, we finish our course, we come out, everyone thinks we've got a halo around our head. You start teaching all of you, then start doing namaskar and all, and thinking that, oh, we are nothing like that. We're all seekers who walk the path. Some a little, little advanced, some a little distant seekers. So therefore, don't easily jump to conclusions about everyone becoming what? Realized masters, okay? Because those are rare people. So, if you are fortunate enough to get a Sadguru, who's a realized master, wonderful. So, we need a Sadguru. Yes, we do need a Sadguru in our life. And how do we find one? Increase the intensity of our desire, and Bhagavan will make the connection. Now, it's a very interesting, this connection part. I will talk about the 2G. God brings Guru to our life, and Guru takes us to God. Look at the connection. One connects you to the other, and the other connects you to the first one. Imagine that. God brings what? Guru. God connects us to the Guru, and Guru connects us to God. What a wonderful thing. Each one is connected to the other. Now, a very, very interesting part, and we go to this, when we go to a Guru, we approach a Guru, what is it that we should understand? Or what is it that if we have gone to a Guru, it becomes, sarthak, it becomes fulfilled. हमारा Guru के पास जाना सार्थक कब होता है? When is it really fulfilled? We have already talked about the Gurus, in the different, their Buddha, etc., etc. That also we have talked. When does it really become, when do we become fulfilled? Our approaching of a Guru, our understanding of a Guru, when does it become fulfilled? So it is said that the first thing the Guru will give us is the third G. Important is the goal of life. An extremely important thing for us to understand. See, we are all human beings and we are not animals. There is a purpose for us being human beings. And if we fulfill that purpose, we fulfill the purpose of our life. Many times we ask people, I ask a lot of people, what's the goal of your life? Most of the time, especially if you ask young people, they will give a professional goal. What will they say? I want to become an engineer, a doctor, a millionaire, a multi-millionaire, etc. So it's professional goal or something to do with the worldly things. I want to become Miss India. We've heard all these type of goals. People have told me. So what do you want? Interesting, huh? What is the goal? I am asking the goal of your life, and you are telling me a professional goal. There's a difference. So if you say to become an engineer is the goal of your life, you should die the day you become an engineer. Isn't it true? Because you have achieved what? The goal of your life. अगर जीवन का लक्ष्य इंजीनियर बनना है, तो जिस दिन हम इंजीनियर बने उस दिन हमको क्या करना चाहिए? मर जाना चाहिए, क्योंकि जीवन का लक्ष्य क्या हो गया? सिद्ध हो गया, खत्म हो गया। अब क्या करेंगे? तो ऐसा तो होता नहीं है, कोई मरता तो नहीं है, मरना चाहता भी नहीं है, क्योंकि कहता है कुछ और बाकी है। इसलिए जीवन का लक्ष्य एक खाली एक इंजीनियर बनना या डॉक्टर बनना है, कुछ भी ऐसे हो ही नहीं सकता है। And it is said, if I do not at least even know about the goal of life, how is it possible that I walk towards it? I may not achieve it, that is one thing, but the thing is, if I don't even know it, that is even worse. So what is the Guru's job? He brings the third G into our life. And what is that? The goal of life. Very, very important. Very important, the goal of life. See, we may have an immediate goal. What I'm going to do today, tomorrow, like that. That's the immediate goal. Then we may have short-term goals. 1 or 2 years, what do I want? Then we may have long-term goals, 20, 25 years, what do I want to become? And then we have what is called ultimate goal of life. Remember that also. So what we need to do is think about all these goals and to be able to tune up our immediate goals with our short-term goals, with our long-term goals to the ultimate goal. Okay? For great seekers, the immediate goal is the ultimate goal. Remember, what? For great seekers, what? Immediate goal is ultimate goal. मुझे मोक्ष चाहिए, अभी चाहिए. Some people say after retirement, meaning 25 साल के बाद में. So their ultimate goal, whatever be it doesn't matter if it is 25 years later or something. First of all, we must know that there is an ultimate goal. And the second important thing is we have to align our goals in between towards the ultimate goal. This is very important. I am sitting in Coimbatore right now. I want to go to Delhi. So I should not take a train to go to Ernakulam or a plane to go to Sri Lanka. I want to reach where? Delhi. It is not. If I go to Hyderabad, at least I am nearer to my goal. Is it true or not? I may not take a direct flight. I may go to Hyderabad, but I can't go to Sri Lanka. If I go to Sri Lanka and hope to reach where? Delhi, it's different. So all of us know that our goal is what? To be happy, right? And we want to be happy all the time. We want eternal, infinite happiness. We don't want any limit to our happiness. So all our goals in between have to be aligned to that ultimate goal. And the Guru is the one who gives us the goal, who explains what the goal is, who clarifies everything about the goal through giving us knowledge. That is why, as we said, the main meaning of the word Guru is what? Rinnani, teaches. Guru and Ru is what? Andhakara, one who removes ignorance. Then one other meaning is what? Garvi iti. Garvi iti means one who is noble and able. That is called a Guru. He's a very noble person and all that. Not only that, there is something called Gurutva Akarshana. What is Gurutva Akarshana? Law of gravity. So he is the one who attracts our attention, his personality is attractive, who attracts our mind with his knowledge, who attracts us to the knowledge. Gurutva. He has that. And then Guruta means what? Heaviness also. He does not get swayed away by whims and fancies and likes and dislikes. Remember that. Guru कौन होता है कि छोटी छोटी चीज से ऐसे हिल नहीं जाता है. गुरुता उसमें होती है, गंभीरता होती है, तो उसको गुरु कहते हैं. So what we find is the Guru gives us a goal. He what brings a beautiful goal in front of us, an inspiring goal, a high goal, a noble goal, something which is fascinating, something which is very, very ennobling. See, मोक्ष की बात छोड़ो, even otherwise, you know, हम जीवन में हम देखते हैं कि कोई कोई के लक्ष्य छोटे होते हैं, जिसके लक्ष्य छोटे होते हैं वो छोटे रहते हैं. Remember, if you think small, you remain small. If you think big, you become big. So gurus are like that they put such big goals in front of you that you strive for something better and greater. I always remember the words of this, I think it was Michelangelo, if I'm not mistaken. He said, the tragedy of human beings is not that they have great goals and don't achieve them. The tragedy of human beings is that they have small goals and they achieve them. What? Interesting. What? The tragedy of human beings is what? That not that they have great goals and don't achieve them. महान लक्ष्य है और वो प्राप्त नहीं कर सकते, वो प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. हमारा प्रॉब्लम क्या है कि हमारे लक्ष्य क्या है, छोटे छोटे हैं और उसको प्राप्त करके हम बड़े क्या हो जाते हैं, संतुष्ट हो जाते हैं. थोड़ी चीज वाली बहुत हो गया बस. साधना में भी ऐसा ही होता है ना, 2 माला कर ली, आज का खत्म है ना. थोड़ी थोड़ी कुछ कर लिया तो क्या होता है, हमको लगता है बस हो गया. इन गुजराती देश से पता ही नहीं, खत्म कर दिया, हो गया. So we do small things, we achieve small things, we become very happy with small things, and therefore we always what? Remain also small. So the Guru's job is to show us something which is what? Big, great, noble, inspiring, awesome, and say, wow, this is a possibility for you. That's why, remember, yesterday we talked about a Preraka Guru. Preraka Guru is who inspires us, elevates us. हमको ऊंचा दिखाते हैं. कुछ, no, we also feel कि yes. And the highest that they can tell is, they say you are infinite. You are not great. Great is still small. You are not Brihad. You are Brihattama. You are Brahman itself. You are not too small. So this is the beauty and the glory of a Guru in our life, because they show us great goals, high, elevated, give us some vision, something to dream of, something to make into, like our life can become a different thing just because we have a great goal. Now, a very important thing to understand over here. One is called a dream and the other is called a goal. These two are different things. Remember this. Should we dream big? Yes, we should dream big. Should we have great dreams? Yes, we should have great dreams. But remember, dreams are never achieved. Goals are only achieved. There's a difference between them. Yeah. एक है बड़े स्वप्न रखना, बड़ी बड़ी आकांक्षाएं रखनी, बहुत ही अच्छी बात है. और दूसरा है बड़े लक्ष्य रखना. और स्वप्न, बड़ी आकांक्षाएं और क्या लक्ष्य में अंतर है. What is the difference? Remember this. A dream becomes a goal when you do something about it. Note, yeah. A dream becomes a goal when you do something about it. If you don't do anything about it, then it's only a dream. So many times people say, yes, I am dreaming that one day I will get moksha. Now what are you doing about it? मेरे हाथ में थोड़ा है कुछ, हमारे हाथ में कुछ नहीं है, वो तो भगवान के हाथ में. तो भगवान also says, yes, मेरे हाथ में है ना, I will do it when I want. It's you don't want it. भगवान के हाथ में ऐसे करके. So it becomes a goal when you do something. What have you done for it? You have to take one small step. It doesn't matter. Rest. There is a great factor who will help you. But that first step, that one little thing, that movement, that standing up must be done by us. It's like that. A person is sleeping, then what can you do? You can't teach. He has to wake up. Then you can tell something. Nah? So that first step, yesterday also I mentioned this, has always got to be done by us. Okay? Upadrashta Anumanta cha. Remember that shloka? Otherwise he only remains what? Bhagavan remains what? Sakshi. If very happy, he says, okay, you are going your own way, I am also going my own. So dreams become goals when we what? Do something about it. So what do the gurus do? They don't only give us big dreams, they make us, inspire us to do something about it and have great goals. Are you understanding the difference? It's just showing, like I have seen many people who listen for years. Many of you must have listened for years to Vedanta also. And everything heard Satchidananda, Hum Brahmasmi, all these words are very, very familiar. And sometimes there is always a little problem with that is because when you listen too much, what happens? Hamare kaan behre ho jate hain, as they say. Our ears become what? Deaf. In the sense, what happens? I'll tell you. If I say, Tattvamasi, you are Brahman. Can I keep quiet? Then what will you say? Aage chalo. Okay, okay, fine. I understood that. That many times I have understood. I am telling you, see, if I tell you, you are looking beautiful, what will you say immediately? Thank you very much. Isn't it? If I say, oh, what a wonderful smile you have, what will you say? Oh, thank you, thank you. Yes. Thank you, really. And if some food is there and all, oh, what lovely food. Even if you have not made it, if your cook has made also, you will still say thank you, thank you. Is it true or not? So immediately we react. And if I say, that Tvamasi, you are that supreme Brahman. And you say, okay, fine. What? Why? Because we have heard this so many times. I am telling you something which is of the greatest. You have a good smile and you are beautiful and all this. Nothing compared to you are infinite. You are what? Ananta. आप अनंत है. ये बोलने से भी हम क्या कहते हैं? हाँ, अच्छा, okay. So what has happened? What has happened? हम बोल के सुन के कान बहरे कर लिए. Are you with me, all of you? And I have some knots coming out of my screen, something. So the guru keeps that goal not like that where you just listen. Because many times it happens like that. In the presence of the guru, the goal does not remain what? As 100 times heard thing. It becomes something which is alive, which is, you feel like, okay, I am into it. I want it. I am going to, you become inspired to think big. You become inspired to actually start visualizing. I am telling you, however much most of us may say we want moksha, we don't want moksha. We are only saying because it's supposed to be said, supposed to be the goal. Actually, nahi hota hai. But this is the glory of a Sadguru. Sadguru की सानिध्य में हमारे दिल में क्या होती है? Actual मोक्षता, actual goal के लिए जो प्रयत्न है करने का मन होता है. This is the glory of the gurus. I am telling you, this is a fact. The gurus are such that उनकी सानिध्य में, in their presence, just their mere presence, you are inspired for higher achievements. Anyone's presence is like that in your life, please be in their presence. Who want us to better ourselves, to become big, to think big, to break all our barriers, to become something wonderful and extraordinary. And I don't mean just moksha, I mean in any sense of the word. Something better, something greater, something higher. So the third G is which one? Guru, God, and what? Goal. Highest goal is infinite. Paramatma is infinite. Atma is infinite. So the highest goal is, of course, that infinite. Now, for all this, we all know many times we strive also half-heartedly, full-heartedly, no-heartedly, whatever way we do strive, but don't seem to progress much. And that is when the fourth G comes into the picture. Now, which is the fourth G? The fourth G is called grace. क्या कहते हैं उसको? Kripa, grace. Now we are going to talk about this because it's a thing which is very. Sometimes I struggle for a long time to understand exactly what is grace. बोलना बहुत सिंपल है, हाँ कृपा है, आपकी कृपा से, भगवान की कृपा है, गुरु की कृपा है. So what exactly is grace? Grace is not something you can say like a laddu. चलो प्रसाद लिया, खाया, आ गया grace. I wish it was so simple. तो मजा आ जाएगी. टेस्टी लड्डू जैसे खा लिया, ऐसे थोड़ी होता है. So what exactly is grace? Now this is something. This is my understanding. Bhagwan's Swarupa is grace. Okay. Bhagwan does not distribute grace in a packet or to some and not to others. It is not possible. See, we say the sun is shining. Don't we say that? The word is what? Sun is shining. And when I say Bhagwan and Guru, I really mean as same. Huh? Remember, even for the Guru, it's the same. We say sun is shining, but actually that is wrong. Sun is shining. You understand? It is not that sun is doing the action of shining. If it is doing the action of shining, then one day it can stop the action of shining. Is it true or not? See, what you are doing, you can do or you can stop doing also. So it never happens that sun stops shining, right? So therefore we say sun is shine. It can never stop the shine. Shining is its very nature. Similarly, Bhagwan का स्वभाव स्वरूप ही क्या है? कृपा है. कृपा के बिना वो नहीं रह सकते. It is like the sun. Now, if that is so, then all of us are Kripa Patra. Is it okay? What? We are all Kripa Patra. This is what very, very important understanding. To know that I am blessed is called blessing, is called grace. I must understand. Do you feel that you are blessed? If you feel you are blessed, you are blessed. If you feel you are not blessed, you are not blessed. Full stop. Please tell me, are you blessed? Everyone, please say something. Are you blessed? Yes. If you say I am blessed, you are actually blessed. Because blessing is not, Kripa is not something which comes and is given at a particular time to name. See, it is like that. The sun shines in the daytime, right? If I close my house, all my windows, draw the curtains, and I say there is no sunlight. The sun, you just open the windows, open the doors, draw the curtains, open them, and what? You can get the sunlight. Forget that. Just go out in the sun and you are what? Bathed in the sun. It is not partial to this one or that one. It shines equally on everyone. Agreed? Similarly, Kripa is on all of us to feel that I am a Kripa Patra, I am being blessed is blessing. When your heart is full of love, when your mind is peaceful, when you are happy inside, you definitely experience that grace. But even when I don't feel that, grace is on me all the time. Is that okay? Now, I want to make a little distinction about this. There is these are words because I don't know how else I can convey this. So I have to make words, even though they are synonyms and the same. I'm making this little difference to make you understand a point. One is called Krupa and the other is called Ashirvad. Even though normally what we say is the same thing, Ashirvad. In English, I will translate it as grace and blessings. I'll just make a little distinction for the sake of making us understand this thing. Okay. So what is Krupa? Krupa is on everyone. We get air to what? Breathe, food, everything is there for us. The whole nature is there blessing us all the time. Okay, that is Krupa. It's there on every one of us. Ashirvad is when you ask and you get. It's a special. They say prayers go up, blessings come down. Have you heard that? See, even though Krupa is on everyone, we do realize in some of our lives there is something special than in the life of someone else. I personally feel I am not only full of grace, but I am full of blessings. Meaning I have been blessed, I have been graced, and I have been blessed. You understand? Now, why this happens is, if you take one small little step towards your goal, if it's a spiritual goal, then Bhagavan does 20 times more things, 100 times more things towards us. It's like a child, a little baby starts walking. Have you seen the mothers? I know so many of you mothers and fathers and all, you know how it is now. That baby gets up. The mother is watching because, the parent wants the baby to learn to walk. It won't say, okay, come on, I'm going to hold you. No, it will allow the baby to stand up. The baby stands up all half like that, balancing and sits down again. The mother says, doesn't matter, get up, get up, get up. Then the baby again gets up. And then what does the mother do? Only first a little 1 or 2 steps only. They don't make them go 1 mile first. Isn't it true? So what? Then the baby starts walking 1 or 2 steps. The mother says, oh, very good, first step. Oh, baby, very good. Then she runs to the baby, gives him a big hug and says, well done, good job, excellent. All they need is what? Do what? 1 or 2. They say the first word, mama. The mama says, today is your day. You understand? Today is my day. Why mama? Bas, khatam ho gaya. You're not going to wait to sing some big song or something like that. First word, mama, for the mother is the biggest achievement. Is it true or not? All of you have known all this. Similarly, when the seeker, we as babies, our efforts are little. It doesn't matter. Little efforts, and we feel the great, great blessings coming on us from the Guru, from God. So Kripa is on everyone, Ashirvad you get. You know, when we in our culture, हम किसी को नमस्कार करते हैं वो तो तब आशीर्वाद देते हैं ना, ऐसे ही थोड़े आशीर्वाद देते हैं. हम नमस्कार करते हैं तभी आशीर्वाद देते हैं ना. जाते हैं किसी नमस्कार करते हैं तो क्या करते हैं? आशीर्वाद देते हैं. वैसे ही हम भगवान के पास जाते हैं, प्रार्थना करते हैं, we do our, we pray, and then what happens? We get Ashirvad, we get blessings. And that, as far as the spiritual, this one is concerned, seeker is concerned, his journey starts with blessings, continues because of blessing, and ends with a blessing. Why? I tell you, I'll explain. It's very simple mathematics. Let me explain this. Then your goal is very high, very great. You need a lot of efforts, right? When it is small efforts are required. But when it's very great, it's a lot of efforts. Now, if your goal is infinite, how much effort is required? If your goal is infinite, how much effort is required? One would say infinite. And infinite effort you and I are incapable of making. Simple as that. Right? अनंत कहाँ आप इतना प्रयत्न कर पाएंगे? अनंत को प्राप्त करने के लिए हम अनंत तो नहीं कर सकते हैं. हम क्या करेंगे? थोड़ा करेंगे. हमको चाहिए बड़ी चीज, हम कर क्या सकते हैं? छोटी चीज. तो अगर बड़ी चीज प्राप्त करनी है तो किसी को तो वो बड़ी चीज के लिए हमको मदद करनी पड़ेगी, है कि नहीं? सीधी बात है। तो कौन करता है मदद? गुरु करते हैं, भगवान करते हैं। गुरु रूप से भगवान करते हैं, भगवान रूप से गुरु करते हैं। So therefore, Kripa, grace is something which is seen continuously. Now see, I've already told you, there is not a single being in the whole universe, whether it's an ant or an elephant or a human or anyone in whose life there is no Kripa, because Kripa is on everyone. That is a fact. Blessings also. Samadhi Kripa that we see is what, when all our wishes are fulfilled, what we say? Bhagwan ki bahut kripa hai. Oh, Bhagwan is very kind. Hum bahut kripa hai. But really Vishesh Kripa is when we get vairagya from all these worldly joys. That is more greater Kripa. Because vairagya only gives sukha. Tasya sukham na karoti vairagya. And I tell you, the greatest Kripa that Bhagwan can do on us is give us a guru. Durlabham trayame tat devanugraha hetukam. भगवान की कृपा होती है तो क्या? 3 चीज मिलती है। मनुष्यत्वम, मुमुक्षुत्वम, महापुरुष संश्रयः। मनुष्यत्व, मानव देह तो मिल गया, इसलिए भगवान की कृपा है। You've already got मनुष्य देह, you are blessed. मुमुक्षुत्वम, कोई श्रेष्ठ चीज प्राप्त करने की इच्छा, something great we want to achieve, also get out of all our limitations and sorrow. Yes, ये 2 तो होती है, but तीसरी जो चीज है, and वो क्या है? महापुरुष संशय, गुरु के कृपा. So that is a big kripa. Now God's kripa is to get us guru. Guru's kripa is what? He gives us knowledge. That is his kripa. He gives us knowledge. He gives us strength. Shows us the way. Okay. Now, in all this, one other very important factor comes into picture. And what is that? And that is called what? Faith. Very, very important. Now, why is faith needed? What is faith? And especially faith in the Guru and faith in God is what I want to talk to you about. Faith is important. And I always say, and I maintain this really, is one of the greatest casualty of present day education is faith. Greatest casualty. It was very much there in the past, in our people. And many times people say also, you know, they tell their children, we never questioned our parents, some of them. And so we think it's a bad thing also in a way, that what is this? They just, everything they just accepted, they did not question anything. Yes, I myself feel that in a way. But I will tell you one thing, what I call simple faith. And that has a lot of merit. I'll give my own incident. I had a mother who had simple faith, very, very simple faith. So we used to always argue. She would say something and we'd say, what proof? What logic is there? Give me some logic, give me some reasoning. And we being educated in the modern way, we had lots of arguments, lots of logic. And when she would say something, she was not able to give logic. We'll say, oh, this is what? Blind faith. Oh, no, you don't even question, you don't even ask anything, you don't even know anything, and you simply believe. We used to call it what? Simply believe. So I never followed anything that she said in those terms, in terms of anything spiritual. I studied Vedanta, started giving all talks, studied more and more, thought more and more. And luckily for us, we have nothing else to do but think. So we think a lot. So after thinking for years and years, the simple faith that my mother had, I also believe the same thing. You understand? What? Years of this. She used to tell me also at that time, she used to say, see, I don't have arguments and I don't have logic and all that, but I know I'm right. I said, but how do you know you are right? How can you say that? She says, whatever you say, I know I am right. You say whatever you want to say. So I could not shake her from her what? Simple faith. Now what has happened is that we have no faith in anything. It is not that we have faith in our own intellect also, because we don't. Because many times people who have faith in their intellect, all of us with no exception, have many times fallen flat on our noses because of our own intellectualness. Humko laga kuch tha, and our own intellect told us something and it completely turned out to be wrong. Is it a fact or not? All of us have experienced that. It's not that our intellect has been very, very reliable as such. Science has not been reliable. You all know many times science has also failed. In the sense, things have not been right what they have said. They themselves have come up with other things which they say is right. The previous thing is negated, the new thing is said to be right. So science, we do not have this. Even though in this day and age, I always say anything in the world, they sell with 3 words. What? Science has said. And we say, oh, that is true. But we all know that even if a research is done, who is sponsoring the research will decide the conclusion that is drawn many times. So therefore, you cannot have any blind faith in that. You cannot just unquestioningly say that. So therefore, what do we have? And then when we are left faithless, we become what? Purposeless. We can't have. Now imagine the importance of faith, I will tell you. They say, faith gives us 2 things. It is karma hetu and jnana hetu. What? Both the things, karma hetu and jnana hetu. With faith only. It is like that. If you did not have faith that you will get up in the morning, you will not go to sleep. Supposing you did not have faith that you think that you are going to die at night. What will you do? Will you sleep? You can't sleep. You go into a car, you sit in the car, and if you did not have faith in the driver, that he will, and it happens like that. Sometimes all of a sudden you think the driver is drunk. Then what happens? You start worrying. Pata nahi kya hoga, abhi kya hoga. Is it true or not? So any action is not possible without faith. You have faith right now. All of you are sitting happily and sitting in the and I hope you will always remain safe and nothing will ever happen to you. But supposing you did not have the faith in the ceiling above your head, whether it will fall or not, that doubt comes into your head. What will happen? Maybe it will fall. Immediately all of you will, no one is going to sit and listen to Vedanta and Guru and God. Forget everything. Right? You Rama, this ceiling is going to fall on my head. Isn't it true? What's going to do? So you have faith. One step you take also you have faith that you're not going to, your leg is not going to. And when people talk about blind faith, that's very, very interesting. When they talk about blind faith. You can't imagine the amount of blind faith we live with. Our life will be impossible if we didn't go with a certain amount of faith without questioning. So when people say, no, I am a questioning person, I don't take everything. At least in India, all of us have only faith that our parents are our parents. Have you questioned that? Will you dare to question that? Do you dare to question that? Are you asking, give me a DNA test? My DNA and your DNA, let us match. Do you do that? Will you do that? How do you know? You say, no, I don't take anything in blind faith. You have never questioned. You will never question. Life will be miserable if you start questioning. Do you agree with me? So we live with faith. Our life goes on because we have faith. All knowledge happens because of faith. All knowledge, no exception. Shraddhavan labhate jnanam is satyam. Any knowledge, okay? We are not talking about Brahma Jnanam and Atma Jnanam and big Jnanam. Any knowledge in the world happens because of faith. Without faith, no knowledge can happen. Shraddhavan labhate jnanam. Stop. How do you say that? Now, I am talking with you. All of you are listening. You all have faith in your ears that what it is heard is right and real. Is it true or not? अगर आपको कान में आप सुनाई दे रहे हैं, ठीक सुनाई दे रहा है कि नहीं, पता नहीं क्या सुनाई दे रहा है, गलत भी हो सकता है, then what will you say? पता नहीं वो कुछ बोले, कुछ I don't know. Is it true or not? Whoever taught you in school, you had faith in the teacher who taught you. When she taught you mathematics, you had faith that this is what is mathematics. This is everything that you learned in your life, all knowledges, small or big, happened because you had faith in the person who gave it to you, in the means of knowledge. Remember, what is required? Faith is required what? In the means of knowledge. प्रमाण में श्रद्धा होनी चाहिए, तब प्रमा ज्ञान होता है. अगर प्रमाण में श्रद्धा न हो तो ज्ञान होना असंभव है. ज्ञान होगा, पर कैसा ज्ञान होगा? असंस्निग्ध नहीं होगा, संशय रहित नहीं होगा, संशयात्मक ज्ञान होगा. Have you understood? And I tell you, samshay can kill you. That is what Bhagavad Gita says. Samshayatma vinashyati. And I hope it never happens to you in your close relation between, let us say, a spouse. Supposing one doubt arises in the mind. I don't know whether she goes in the office, what she must be doing or what he must be doing. Khatam, relation is gone. It's a close matter. Samshaya, that samshaya is a horrible thing. It will destroy relation, destroy everything, your peace of mind, you're in misery, that you have faith. No. And that's why you move around everything, you're fine. But there are some people, no, so बहुत संशय होते हैं. They are all full of always doubt. Your life is miserable in such cases. Are you with me? So the important role of faith. And now what do we need faith in? Again, as I said, faith is always in the what? Means of knowledge. Now, faith must come first or faith must come after knowledge? Simple question. पहले श्रद्धा होनी चाहिए, बाद में ज्ञान होता है, कि पहले ज्ञान होना चाहिए, बाद में सब श्रद्धा होनी चाहिए? लोग कहेंगे, देखो, I am asking you these simple questions, but the way we also many times say things, now we don't really realize what we say. For example, some people say, I have not seen God, how can I have faith in him? Have you heard this one? मैंने देखा ही नहीं है, तो how can I have faith? If I see God, then I will have faith. Hare Rama. If you see God, you don't need faith because you already know. Faith is required because you don't know. You need faith to know. है ना? श्रद्धा होती है तभी ज्ञान होता है. ऐसा नहीं कि ज्ञान होने के बाद ज्ञान होगा तो फिर श्रद्धा की जरूरत ही नहीं है. श्रद्धा ने उसका काम कर दिया, ज्ञान प्राप्त करवा दिया. जब तक ज्ञान नहीं होता है तब तक श्रद्धा बनाई रखनी पड़ती है. Is that okay? एक बार भगवान के दर्शन हो गए, फिर कोई भी जगत का कोई भी कहे कि नहीं भगवान नहीं है, तो आप क्या कहेंगे? अरे तुमको क्या पता है? मुझे पता है, मैंने साक्षात दर्शन किए. Have you understood? If you get the darshan of God and someone says there's no God, you say, what are you talking? I saw him. Full stop. End of the matter. Right? Are you with me? So what do we need? We need faith. Why am I saying all these things? Because you understand how important it is. You need faith in the means of knowledge. Praman mein shraddha honi chahiye. So, what is the pramana? Now we are talking about spiritual life. In spiritual life, you need 4 or let's say 5 types of faith. One is in God, in his very existence. कि भगवान है, सर्वज्ञ सर्वशक्तिमान है, सर्वगुण संपन्न है, दयालु है, कृपालु है, प्रेममयी है, कृपामयी है, etc. Okay? You need to have faith in God, in his existence and his greatness. Okay? Then you need to have faith in the Guru, in the ability and the nobility of the Guru. Second. Third, you need to have faith in the scriptures. शास्त्र में कि शास्त्र सत्य बताता है, शास्त्र is giving you the truth. It's talking about dharma, it's talking about brahma, it's talking about all the great knowledge is true and it is for our blessing. Nothing written over there is wrong. It is the truth and it's for us. It will change my life if I study it. So third is what? Faith in the scriptures. First what? God, Guru, scriptures. Then the fourth one is faith in oneself. What is the faith in oneself? That I too can realize the truth. उसको कॉन्फिडेंस कहते हैं, है ना? खुद में भी तो कॉन्फिडेंस होनी चाहिए कि I can do it. And the fifth is the faith in the sadhana given to us. कि भाई मैं जब करती हूँ तो मेरा अंतःकरण शुद्ध हो जाएगा, भगवान के दर्शन भी हो सकते हैं. If I don't have faith in all that I do, how will I in this? I will not have that, inspiration to continue doing it. If you think ऐसे I know people who say अरे ऐसे भगवान को वो खाना थोड़ी खाते ऐसे नैवेद्य चढ़ाते रहते हैं, तो क्या होगा? कुछ नहीं होगा. Haven't you heard people say? खाते तो नहीं है, ऐसे हम देते रहते हैं, खाते नहीं. और अब लिंग के ऊपर दूध चढ़ाते रहते हैं, क्या फायदा? There are people who say कि why waste money by putting what? Milk on this, give it to the poor. Have you heard that word? Why waste all the? They don't have faith in this, so this is a waste of milk. Arey Ram. The same people don't object when people drink so much liquor and all that and spoil their health. That Abhishek they don't mind. They spoil their health, they spoil their mind, they spoil that. No one objects. They don't say why so much of this is going in. No, that is okay. But for this, they'll say no waste. So you need to have faith. Yes, what I'm doing is good. It's right. Otherwise, people talk like that. I have heard enough. In our country, unfortunately, such movies also come out. And everyone says, "Arey, kya movie tha?" Tell you. So you have these 5 faiths. Now, supposing you have all 5 nothing, I mean, it's the best. You have it's cakewalk. You can just get the truth, just like that. Kya badhiya baat hai. Shraddha hai, jnaan aise ho sakta hai. But if you don't have all 5 and you have only one of them, which is the most important? Faith in the sadhana, faith in oneself, faith in the scriptures, faith in the Guru, or faith in God? I would say faith in the Guru. Because even if you lose your faith in God, Guru can re-establish that faith in God. Guru gives the knowledge of the scriptures. And therefore, if you have faith in the Guru, you will have faith in the scriptures. Guru is the one who can give you self-confidence. When you fall, he can say, don't worry, it's okay. Get up, walk ahead. Guru is the one who can establish your faith even in the sadhana. But if you lose faith in the Guru, God save you, I don't know. It happens. One of the greatest tragedy in the life of a spiritual seeker is losing faith in the Guru. Will you remember this? There cannot be a greater tragedy than losing faith in one Guru. That is why people are very scared. इसलिए कहते हैं हम गुरु बनाते ही नहीं, बनाए तो फिर ऐसे हो जाएगा ना, बनाते. So we, that lack that. Others, some are just out of sheer not committing. Because there are many people, सबके पास से अच्छा लेना चाहिए, सुनना चाहिए, सबसे इसमें क्या गलती है? Nothing wrong. You must listen to everyone also. There are many people who can be your Bodhaka Gurus and all of this also. But until and unless you have that sort of a nishtha, or if you think that everything I hear from wherever I hear comes from that one Guru Tattva, then it is fine. But we don't. We don't have that type of faith also. And then that is why one nishtha, eka bhakti vishishyate is said like that. So faith in the Guru is extremely what? Important. Why? Because he is the means. वो कौन है? प्रमाण है. गुरु वाक्य गुरु मुखात शास्त्र श्रवण. It is said. And you need faith in what? When you listen to the Guru. Now comes one important part, which we are going to continue it with the actual Guru Stotram, and that is called Guru Upasana. What? Guru Upasana. Very important. Guru Upasana. What do you mean by Guru Upasana? A very important part. I really truly believe this is important. Upa plus asana. Upa यानी पास में, near, and asana means sit. Sitting near a guru. Every time we give this example only. If a wet log is there, you can't put it straight into the fire. It will not burn. So what do? You put it in the sunlight first. Get it a little dry, then put it near the fire. And as it comes near the fire, what happens? It gets dry. And finally, it becomes dry enough for us to be able to put it inside the fire. Even when you put in the fire, the last bit of the moisture starts coming, and you get pop, pop, pop sounds also, And then finally, it catches fire and it burns away. Similarly, when we go, we are like that wet log. Guru is the fire which gives the knowledge to us, is the, fire of knowledge. And what happens? When we are very wet, we have to be a little far away only. We can't be put straight away, nothing is going to happen. But slowly and slowly, as we come closer and closer, what happens? This is said. I'm talking from the Yoga Sutra. It's the Patanjali Yoga Sutra also. It is said this. One of the sadhana that is recommended for seekers and even advanced seekers, doesn't matter what the seek, is to meditate on the state of the Guru. It is said on the mind and the state of the Guru. You can see, it's like that. If you know that X, that's my Guru, is a Brahma Jnani. Many times I have wondered at this also. What must be the state of Gurudev? What must be the mind of Gurudev? What must be this feeling that he must be having? What is his way of looking at everything? And what happens? That becomes, that state, that mind, that heart of his becomes my upasya, my altar of worship and meditation. Are you understanding what I'm saying? See, because he is alive, he is pratyaksha, I can see him, I know about him. So his leelas, they become my upasya, they become my worship. Are you with me? It is said in the Yoga Sutras, and I truly believe this. It's a very beautiful sadhana to do. So this is called upasana, coming close. And the purpose, and that is when it comes to Guru Seva. This is important. It is said in all our scriptures. It says what? Sevaya. It is said in the Gita also. Why Seva? Upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninaha tattva darshana. So seva. So you come close to this and you do seva. Now, what is the purpose of the seva? It's not that you go and press the leg of the Guru. Many times that is what is understood as seva. I remember always Gurudev once, I was sitting in one place, Gurudev was there, and there was a big hall of people, and it was packed, and Gurudev was sitting there. One person was massaging one leg, the other was massaging another leg. And I was sitting far away. And the person who was massaging one leg got up and went away. So I don't know why, because I normally don't have such this, but somehow this desire for massaging for this Gurudev's feet came in my mind. So from there, I caught his eye, I looked at his feet, I looked at him, I looked at his feet, looked at him. Meaning that, so he saw my glance, he immediately understood he is what he is. So he looked at me and he said, very interesting. He says, oh, even you, I always remember these words. He said, even you, okay, this is public property, come. I have wanted nothing but the highest from him. Why am am I asking for this? You understand? It is not that I have not, pressed his leg or felt really wonderful and all that, being at his feet, being near him, being this, all that is fine, fine. But that is not the purpose. The whole purpose of Guru Seva is to tune our mind with the mind of the Guru. Is it understood? What? The purpose of what? Is what? To tune our mind with the mind of the Guru. अगर हमारा मन गुरु के मन से मिले नहीं तो ये सब सेवा का कोई अर्थ है नहीं. I always love the statement of Nachiketa in this. What was his relation with his guru? The Kathopanishad says is beautiful. When Nachiketa was asked, he said, when his father, he had to follow his father, whom he considered as guru at that point of time. He said, Bahuna memi pratamaha. He says, I have been the best shishya or the student most of the times. The best guru or the best shishya is one who tunes his mind with the mind of the guru in such a way that before the guru even says something, the disciple knows exactly what the guru wants and does it. गुरु की रूह समझता है. गुरु को बोलने की जरूरत नहीं होती है. I have seen people like that who are so sensitive, who understand immediately what is in the mind of a person and does that thing without even having the guru speak that. The other is what, when the guru tells, they do it. That's the second type. And the third type, Nachiketa says, many times I have been of the first type, many times I have been of the second type, but never the third type. Who is what? After the guru says also something, doesn't do. So that is the third type. And Guru Seva also, sometimes it's a problem only for the Guru. I'm telling you, because most of our, the seva that we do for any Mahatmas or any sannyasis or sadhus or anyone like that, is we show all our love by forcing them to eat. Have you understood? Forcing them to eat. Then sometimes you say, but I will get a stomach ache or something like that, I can't eat. And they say also, don't worry, my husband is a doctor. When first I make you sick, then I'll give you some tablets, but don't worry, but please take. So a Guru Upasana should be what? Such. It should not be some act which is just for our mental satisfaction. The purpose is to tune our mind to the mind of the Guru. So when knowledge happens, it goes straight in and we realize the truth. So this is called Guru Upasana, Guru Seva, and I'm now going to just put this point and we'll be discussing it. And that is, what is Guru Tattva? Who actually is the Guru? Is he a person? Is he always a realized master? Is knowledge Guru or the person a Guru? Is the Guru outside or is the Guru inside? Which is a better Guru, the outside one or the inside? Do I need an outside Guru if I have a Guru inside? Do I need an inside Guru if I have a Guru outside? How close do I need to meet with the Guru? How often do I have to meet the Guru? Is it required for me to continuously be in the presence of a Guru? Is it important for me to say everything that is there in my mind to get myself guidance on a day-to-day basis or a weekly basis or a monthly basis? How often do I need this contact? This and a lot more other points like that we shall see tomorrow. We will talk about the Guru Stotra, the actual Stotram that we are going to see. It's a beautiful Stotram. It's part of the Guru Gita, and we shall see that in the following session. Let's end with the Shanti Mantra, followed by a couple of announcements and the Arati that will be done. सर्वेषां स्वस्तिर्भवतु, सर्वेषां शान्तिर्भवतु, सर्वेषां पूर्णं भवतु, सर्वेषां मङ्गलं भवतु, सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु, मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। असतो मा सद्गमय, तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय, मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय। ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते, पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ओम, श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ओम। Harihi Om. Prayers for the well-being of everyone. Please keep safe. Harihi Om and Namaskar.
Thank you, Swamini ji. That was a wonderfully inspiring session, and we are certainly blessed to receive this invaluable knowledge on this auspicious day of Ashadhi Ekadashi. Really, really blessed, Swamiji. I take this opportunity to thank our Yagna Yajmans, Srimati and Shri Sandeep Kabra, and Srimati and Shri Ashok Rathi. On behalf of Chinmay Mission Nagpur, our sincere gratitude. Our gratitude also to today's Aarti Yajmans, Srimati and Shri Shiv Kumar Rao. Thank you on behalf of Chinmay Mission Nagpur. If any of you would like to be the Aarti Yajmans on any of the remaining 3 days of the Yagna, please get in touch with our secretary, Shri Sunil Vyavahare. His number will be shared in the chat box. Some of our forthcoming programs I would like to inform you about. The first one that we are going to learn about is the Guru Paduka Puja. This is a very, very special Guru Paduka Puja because you can participate in it. That is the beauty. We will share the list of items that are required for the puja so that you can follow along. You can keep your altar ready and you can follow along. And this will be in the presence with Swami Vimlananda ji, and you can participate in it. It is going to be held on the day of Guru Purnima, that is 24th of July, from 7 a.m. to 8:15 a.m. For any queries, you may contact the number given on the flyer. The link is also provided for registration and for participation, the Zoom link. Now, the next announcement. Chinmay Gardens Coimbatore ने मंत्र साधना शिविर का आयोजन किया है. ये एक रेसिडेंशियल प्रोग्राम है आपकी व्यक्तिगत साधना को बढ़ाने के लिए. ये एक 8 सप्ताह का शिविर है और सारे कोविड प्रोटोकॉल्स का पूरी तरह से पालन किया जाएगा. अधिक जानकारी के लिए पोस्टर पे दिए गए नंबर पर संपर्क कर सकते हैं आप. ये 7 नवंबर से 2021 से लेके 1 जनवरी 2022 तक होगा. इसमें जरूर भाग लीजिए. बहुत ये पहली बार किया जा रहा है. इसका आयोजन पहली बार हो रहा है. And now I request you all to join us for Pujya Gurudev's Aarti.
बोलिए सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की
Thank you all for joining us today. We look forward to seeing you all again tomorrow. Hari Om.